Hi, everybody out there. This is Dr. Stephen Jones, and I'm decided to go live tonight. This is me on StreamYard. It's kind of my first opportunity to do this, but there's so many people who really want to ensure that they have more information than they need when it comes to marketing books, marketing anything. So I'm kind of tonight going to talk about marketing a lot of different types of things, and hopefully that there'll be a lot of interaction between us. I'm not going to do it for a long time because I don't believe in doing a lot of things for a long period of time. I believe in giving you good information and then kind of moving from there. So it's only a great opportunity when you think about it to create your own book. I've done that. I've had an opportunity to create my own book, and I want to make sure that many of you who are thinking about creating your own books have that opportunity, or there's some other product that you sell. I see people on Facebook selling all kinds of things, whether it's jewelry or clothing or whatever it might be. There's all kinds of people out there who have things that they want to market. So I think that this will be kind of those tips that move you in that direction. If you're thinking about maybe starting your own business, you haven't started it yet, but you're trying to identify a product and what way do I want to go with that? So I want to use this as an opportunity to kind of talk about those things. What are some of the products, or what are some of the ideas that you have that you want to put out there? You want to get people's feedback about it. So there's a lot of people, and I want to just invite you to come on and join me. So we're supposed to start at 7 o'clock. I'm going to give everyone a couple of minutes. If there's anybody out there that's listening that wants to hear this, I'm going to be sharing from my over 25 years of experience. I have had a lot of different types of experiences with working with school districts and community organizations, really trying to get them ready for success with their students. I am all about students. Anybody knows me, they know that I love working with students. I love helping them to succeed. I love helping to give them some direction that will help them to achieve their goals. This is kind of my mission in life, is to ensure students are successful. My mission in life is to ensure that students have an opportunity beyond their wildest imaginations. I could just share my own story. I grew up in West Philadelphia. I was the first person in my family to go to college out of 6 children. Little did I know is that I would work at a college not far from the high school that I attended. So you can start in one place in life and you never know where you're going to end up at. And you're going to find out in your life that there's different types of experiences that bring you to a place of change. And when I went off to college, I thought I would actually work in a community organization when I graduated, but I was blessed to be sent to graduate school. And then going to graduate school, other kinds of opportunities opened up for me. And I really worked on ensuring that individuals who, by having my own program on a college campus, could be successful in having their opportunity on a college campus. There are many of you who are thinking about work and places to work. So I would just share with you that the college environment is one place where, of course, right now with COVID-19, it's kind of different, but it is an opportunity for you to really work and get into a place where you can serve students and help them to change their lives, just like I was changed. I know I'm not going to do this forever, but I'm hoping that there'll be a generation that comes behind me that will do the same things that I've been able to do with my life. So I'm not going to delay this a whole lot longer, but I just want to say to you, our topic tonight is going to be how to sell more books or more of anything. What are some of the things that you should do? So the first thing I want to talk about is doing your research. Because I know a lot of people that start and write their own books, but they really haven't done the research before that says there's an entire market that's really interested in your book. So one of the ways that you can do that is by going on to Facebook, and if you look in the ads section, there's an audience. There's an audience button. You can click on that audience and begin to identify the different audiences that are out there. You can actually drill down based on topics in terms of the individuals that you might think would be interested in what you have to offer. So the more detailed you are in identifying the people that you're trying to market to, the more likely it is that you'll get them to engage in what you're trying to get them to take advantage of. So the thing that I'm always trying to market to students and to parents, of course, are my books. And I just want to share those. I always share those wherever I go. This is part of the marketing too. Is that the first book I wrote was called 7 Secrets of How to Study. And this book was for middle school, high school, first year college students, just showing them how to study, how to organize, how to plan. What are the things that they need to manage their time just to ensure that they're successful with what they're doing. And this is a great resource for individuals to connect with. And then I wrote a book called The Parent's Ultimate Education Guide. And this is kind of basically birth through 12th grade. What do I do to help my child do well in school? Gives you all kinds of tips. It has all kinds of resources in the back of it. And then I wrote another book, a scholarship book. How do you find money for college? So this shows you that there's over billions of dollars in scholarships, half of it that goes back. And this is a great resource for you as well. And then I have this book on how to study the Bible. And basically, all my books are kind of workbooks. And so I know that that's the kind of market that I'm trying to get into. I'm trying to get it to the hands of individuals who really want to use this kind of resource. So whether it's a school or a community group or agency, I'm trying to get into their hands. So the first thing I said, you need to do the research. You need to find out who your audience is, and you need to begin to relate with that audience before you're even about to produce the book. Because what I did was I actually started doing a bunch of seminars, and I began to relate to the audiences that I was working with, and that helped me in having conversations with them to identify exactly what I wanted to offer in the book. And that's how I came up with the first book of 7 Secrets of How to Study, because I kept hearing that students don't know how to study. I kept experiencing it, that students would come to campus and they wouldn't know how to study. So I really wanted to put something together that would give them some steps and some strategies on how to manage their time, how not procrastinate, how to organize, how to plan. I really wanted to put that in place for them so they could actually be more successful students, that they could leave their high school and come to college and be more successful students. So that was really my goal with the first book. And actually, one of the courses that I've offered in these last few weeks, because I've been offering these master classes, was on how I sold 40,000 books. And one of the courses was on how I wrote 40,000 books. So those courses have already been produced, but I'm in the process of this Saturday having a seminar on how to market your book. So I think marketing is you. What are you doing to get the word out about your books, your resources, whatever it is that you're selling? What are you doing on a daily basis? Because if you're not putting any money, you're not putting money and investment in it, you're not going to get anything out. So you want to make sure that you have an actual plan of how you're going to market your book. What are the resources you're going to put into place to make it happen? And then, so I'm telling you that you need to be really visible. And like right now, because I'm not doing workshops in front of individuals, I'm visible through workshops that I'm doing online. I'm interacting with teachers. I'm interacting with other professionals. Some of the webinars, I'm on the webinar to be a part of the webinar, but I'm also interested in who's at the webinar. Who can I contact afterward? Who can I connect with on LinkedIn? So I'm broadening my audience of individuals that I can potentially market my book to, that I can get my book in the hands of afterward. So, and I have found that that's a really great way because they've interacted. We've been in the same venue listening to the webinar, and now I'm contacting them. That's a great way to begin to really kind of target, because those individuals who are coming to the webinar are individuals who are interested in the same thing that you're interested in. So you want to connect there. You need to be visible. You need to be visible on Facebook, visible on YouTube, visible on LinkedIn. You want to be visible in as many places as you can possibly be. That will help you to, again, through the social networks, sharing, getting people to share your information. That will help you as well to get your information out there. I have had so many people see something that's creative, because I'll write something or I'll post something from a podcast, and they'll take it and share it with somebody else. You can also ask them to particularly share it with certain people. So now you have all these people who are, sharing your information with somebody else to come and listen to what you have. So that's really important. Remaining visible. YouTube is another great way that you can get yourself out there. Have your own channel. I have my own channel. I have about 66 videos or so. I'm adding to it tonight because I'm doing this seminar tonight. So I'm adding to that. And I think YouTube is a great venue as well. You want to start your own podcast or your own blog? I have my own podcast. I have my own blog. Actually, we're doing something called STEM Forward, which is more on the STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math side. So we have a podcast there and a blog. Then I have my own blog. You'll see them posted periodically in the different venues, whether it's Facebook or whether it's LinkedIn. So I'm constantly finding ways to get myself out there and get people connected with the things that I think are important. In blogging, I try to be current. So you can actually look at what are some of the current topics. Like I was in a meeting today and they were talking about the stressful time that they're spending on Zoom. So I'm going to do something around that. How do you alleviate your stress with Zoom? So I try to find topics of today. The COVID's around. You want to, what are the topics, but what is my expertise that connects with that topic that will enable someone to say, oh, he has a book and he has a resource. I can take advantage of his expertise. So you want to see what are the current topics, tie into those current topics with what you have to write. And then you can also, what I've done is in the specific things around going into the media. So I've been on various media websites and try to share with them that I'm available to be a guest. And I have been invited to a number of radio shows, podcasts. People are looking for individuals to come onto their shows. The people are looking for individuals to be in their podcast. So why not take the time to investigate? And all they can do is say yes or no. So I actually go into LinkedIn. I look for those individuals who are in the media, who have podcasts. I want to read it over, see if they have something similar or are targeted in a topic that I'm engaged in. And then I'll send a message to them and see if they might be interested in having me as a guest. So I think that that's great. And it's a blog that you can use there as well. Another thing you might want to get a partnership. It might not just be you. And I think that that's great. If you're marketing your book, you should not only be the one person that's marketing your book. Who are all the people, at least 5 people or 10 people that are really your close friends that you know if you ask them to do anything in life for you, they'd be willing to do it. So identifying those individuals who become your marketing team. It's not just you by yourself trying to market. It's your team working along with you to get your book out there and to get your resource out there. Maybe you have a free manual that you give out and it's a way to attract people to you. So whatever it is, have those people out there that can be that resource for you. Market your book, and you could actually go to a bookstore. Now, one of the things that I did was I placed my book in various bookstores, and they were open to the idea. Go to a library, connect with them. Those are individuals who are going to have your book, and it'll be another way of marketing your book because it'll be on their shelves, it'll be in their catalog. They can promote your book. Get people talking about your book. If people are reading it, I just saw someone, he had released his newest book, and he has everybody taking a picture of the book as they receive it in the mail and then sharing it with him. So you want to that's another way of marketing because you are validation. The fact that you purchased it and you can recommend it, you're a great person for them to take advantage of. In terms of people calling you up and say, well, what did you think about the book? You can be that referral for the books that are sold. You want to take advantage of, making sure that you're connected with other people as you're trying to market the book. It's not you by yourself, because that's the other thing that can happen with you. You can get into burnout because you're trying to get these books out there and these resources out there, these products that you're trying to sell. You're trying to get them out there by yourself. Why not have a team? It takes the burden off of you, and you probably can sell a lot more books if you have that team. Now, I share with you the books that I already have, and I'm actually writing a book right now that's for engaged and married couples. And it's going to give them some really great strategies on how to communicate, how to stay organized. how to love one another, how to forgive one another, how to follow biblical principles, how to manage your money. Because, unfortunately, a lot of marriages break up over the financial side. So I'm putting that in this marriage book that I'm coming out with it within the next month or so. You'll see all kinds of postings. You'll see people pushing this resource out there. It's a workbook just like the other ones, because I want people to come together and work together on problems or issues or things that they're facing. And I think workbooks are better at that. And then I always say that I'm available. I'm available as a resource to help you to get through. So test your prices. Sometimes people will, they have an opportunity to market the books at different prices depending on what event that they're attending. Just even for my seminar that I'm doing, I actually have done that. So I've marketed it in a different way. I'm going to put the banner here. This is the seminar that I'm doing this weekend on Saturday in the morning. So I'm actually going to be talking about in a deeper level the marketing of books, the benefit of books. And if you have a book, this is a great time to connect with the resources and planning for that book. Or if you have a book in mind and you're writing it and you sat it down, and then you picked it back up, you started writing again and you sat it down. This is the opportunity to get really more inspired to get your book out there and to get it done. So I really want to make sure that you have some steps and some strategies, so that you don't just get the book and the books are all sitting around in your house and collecting dust. The books are sitting in the kitchen, the books are upstairs, the books are in the basement, but you're not actually marketing them and getting them out there. That's what you need to do. You need to be that proactive person even before it comes. And you should be talking to people about, again, in these conversations, whether it's a podcast or whether it's the media, you try to get on newspapers. There are a lot of newspapers looking for individuals to write on certain topics. So you want to get in there and be the resource that's talking about specific topic of your expertise. You have an expertise. You have a gift. You have a talent. But no one will know about it unless you're out there telling the people what you have to offer and what solution you're going to provide. It's all about solutions. What are the solutions that you can provide through your book, through your own expertise, through your sharing information? What are the things that you're bringing to the table that make a difference from some other book or some other resource? So you want to make sure that you are that person. Be consistent. A lot of us, we start writing books, but we drop off. We need you to be consistent. If you're going to get this book done, I always say, and it's my strategy with the books I've written, 1 page a day. If I'm writing 1 page a day, I'm closer than I've ever been before. You want to make sure you're writing at least 1 page a day toward your book, and you'll be closer and closer. And then some days you'll write more, you'll write 5 pages, you'll write 10 pages. It will just depend. You'll have an opportunity to do that. So you want to prepare yourself in such a way that you know this book is going to be done. Give yourself a time limit. Now, I want to have this done by January of next year. So that says I need to do X number of pages a day toward my goal of finishing this book. You actually have to have a written down plan. I call it SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and having a timetable. The measurable part is how many am I doing each day? Is it realistic? What can I really do per day? Or what can I really do over the weekend? But I'm making progress, specifically doing that. And then knowing, again, what your market is, where building your market, expanding your market. You may have it. And I found that I started off in one area, marketing to the parents initially. Then the schools wanted it for the parents that they serve. So sometimes you start off in a marketing area and then you move in a different direction. And you want to take advantage of opportunities to really share what you have from different perspectives. You never know how you can meet a need from that. And so marketing is really, really something that will benefit you if you really have a plan. And I would say that plan should be written on paper or written on your computer that you follow, that you every month you take a look at it to see how well you're making progress toward your goal. It doesn't make sense to have a goal if you're not making any progress toward that goal. But also to know this, there's always going to be a distraction when you're trying to get to a specific goal. There's always going to be something that you have to deal with when you have an idea that's in your mind to accomplish. That's all part of the process. All part of the process is succeeding and failing, growing and learning. It's good if you take the information that you've learned and use it for something. That's when failure isn't a bad thing, because you're taking that information and saying, okay, I marketed the book in this way, it didn't work, but I need to market it in that way. So taking strategies that will help you to be successful and help you to be able to sell, like I was saying earlier, I was able to sell 40,000 books. So I really wanted to get out here tonight just to share with you. I'm so glad that some of you came in to listen, and I hope that others of you will listen later on as this is sitting out here on Facebook or YouTube. I love to really help you as you're on your journey. If you're in the middle of writing a book, I know I have a lot of educators who are my friends out there who are thinking about a book, have started writing a book, or are now almost finished and it's ready to be marketed. So I want to be that resource to you. And of course, I'm there as a person that loves to work with the college students. So there's other kinds of markets that we can talk about, and I can be a resource. I would love to do that. So I want to thank you for coming on tonight, but I want to just challenge you. Again, I have this workshop going on this Saturday. You see at the bottom of my screen at bit.ly/market-best-books. If you go there, you can jump on tonight. I actually reduced the price by $10. So if you get it on it tonight, it's not going to be that price forever, but I wanted you to take advantage of it. And if you have any marketing questions, you know where to find me on Facebook. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm also on Instagram at Stephen Joneses, but you can find me all the other places as Dr. Stephen Jones. All of you know me from that standpoint. And I want to be a resource to you. I want to thank you so much for coming in tonight and hanging with me for a little bit. And I'm going to come back and do some of these periodically. I want to be a resource to those who have questions, because I know that there's some of you who have questions, there's certain needs that you have, and you want to make sure that you're successful. And I'm hoping that as you're planning, don't wait until you get halfway through and you're frustrated with your book. Give me a call, email me, text me, just share with me where you're stuck at. And if I can be that person that pushes you along, and like I said earlier, somebody is waiting for your specific book, your specific story is going to be a blessing to somebody, how you changed your life, how you got through the hard situation that you're in, how when you lost your job, how you recovered a job. All those kinds of stories is what people need to hear to be encouraged, to know that they can do well in whatever they decide to do, to know that they can recover from this. This COVID-19 has been a trip in many of our lives, but we still have to move forward. We still have to have faith that God's with us, and still have to have faith and be encouraged that it's going to turn around. It's not going to be this way forever. But I want you, whoever it is out there that you thought about writing that book, I want you to get started again. And if you're at the end of it and you need some marketing tips and strategies, definitely connect with me. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight.